Okay, so here's a continued testimony out of my husband's own mouth, basically. And I have another letter that matches this in his handwriting. Basically, he was saying the kids don't know what's going on. The older boys don't even want to come over because of the way you treat my wife. You think she's a nut. And that's just for speaking my mind. I have heard it all from them. I've been called a bitch. I've been called all kinds of names from this family that say that they love you. And so, what is love? A lot of young girls don't even know what love is because they're treated like trash all the time from their own family. The most intimate relationships you are supposed to have in life treat you like trash. So he was quoting the Bible and saying like in Matthew 19, it says they are no longer two but one, therefore what God has joined together let no man separate. He goes, I'm not having a separate life with you and a separate life with her, and I don't appreciate you putting her down with coming to my work. Basically they were coming to his work saying, oh, let's go sneak out for a bike ride, as if he wasn't already going over there all the time anyways. It's just we had more kids, so I needed him more. Dad, you can't tell me you wouldn't put up with this if someone was treating your wife poorly. What has she done that's so wrong? So even my husband's like, what did she do? All I did was speak truth in their life, hoping they would get saved, actually ministering to them. And this is what happened. Because she has some feelings or some concerns. And when you usurp her authority as a mother, she says something so you don't like it, basically. She takes motherhood pretty seriously, and why shouldn't she? Aren't they good kids? I used to get compliments all the time with my kids. Have you ever asked yourself with these letters if there's any merit to it? Now, my mother went over there and she started making stuff up. This is where it all started. She started making stuff up about me, and then she would run over to their house all the time and tell on me and make stories up about me. My mother is a serial liar. She is good at what she does. She is a what's the word? She's an actress. She has some psychological major problems, and this is what she used to do. So she put her own daughter, even after the forced abortion, she put her daughter under the rug again because she couldn't get what she wanted. I do have memories of my father. I definitely believe there's vague memories of molestation. I had to speak up to my mother and say, the kids are not coming over alone all the time because of this and that, and she didn't like it, so she tried to bury me. So my husband had to say, she came over in goodwill, and this is when I went over to talk to them. I even asked, a pastor's wife, what do you think of me going over? And she goes, oh, just bring like a dessert with you. Bring a dessert so it looks a little more hospitable. So I covered myself, even with other people, before I went over there. I didn't take the advice of bringing the dessert. I probably should have, because I went over there to talk to them and ask them basically what's going on, what is the matter, because you have to communicate. I didn't know, and Ben's like, you tore her apart. And his mother took this fit. She's like, you can leave. You can leave. I don't want you here. I'm sick of your letters. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of everything. And, she is very shame-based. So anything you say to her, she will take the wrong way. And that's because of her past. So, she went over in goodwill. You drove her away. She's my wife. She's a part of me. What's really happening is me and Melissa feel like we're being attacked for our Christian beliefs. Because I wasn't attacked until I became a Christian over there. Once I became a Christian, they didn't like it because his mother hates the church. She actually hates the church. So I don't know what happened to her, honestly. She hated her mother, but you see her all over Facebook, liking her mother's stuff. Her mother Ruth died and she likes her mother's stuff. She put on an act, but as soon as her mother left, she'd talk about her. So Ben was testifying, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I have quit smoking thanks to God. God just put that in him. He just quit smoking one day after They let him smoke since he was like, what, like 11 or something, let him do marijuana. Um, they gave him, I mean, they didn't really treat him that great growing up. They didn't invest in him or nothing. So when I came along, he quit. Yeah, I didn't put up with a guy who smoked pot, so he quit that. He finished high school because of me. He got his GED. He got a job because of me. He went to college because of me. He just really improved his life with me in his life, and he wasn't going anywhere before that. He was kind of hanging around with these two people and some losers he was hanging around with, and it was because he wanted to marry me. He had turned his life around. Then he talks about how the truth will set you free, all this stuff, and you know, I hope for reconciliation, but I'm staying away as long as my wife is not welcome. So this is where I talk about how your family can really get in your life and really try to you know, really screw things up for you. And then some other letters I had, let me see. Oh, just communicating, just, you know, normal stuff, nothing really bad. And I kept copies of things. All right, so this is 2007. Donna, things are tight right now this week. Just letting her know we don't have a payment for this week because we had owed them some money. We always pay our bills on time, so we do with the best that we can. Like, we didn't always pay it perfectly on time, but I was saying, I was standing up for myself because she had called me a gold digger in, what was it, 94? No, 96, when Ben had cancer. He had cancer and everything fell apart financially. So she was calling me a gold digger and everything. So I was standing up for myself nicely, you know, as being assertive, not aggressive, and just saying, look, we do the best we can. Sometimes when you are poor, you can't always do this. It bothers me to think I'm being judged or condemned when we struggle to pay our bills. We both work very hard. We're creative with our resources. So I said I had made a double payment last week with the electric company. And I communicated, you know, that we had made arrangements with the electric company, which we did, but the communication wasn't really clear, so we had a shut off. Okay, yeah, and then the bank, I tried to tell her that we were trying to deal with that. She didn't want to hear it. Here's 2010, thank them for a cute card, effort with peacemaking. I talked about, these were just like my little notes. I talked about, you know, what honoring your parents really looks like. It's not saying, you know, we're going to do everything your way, and if we don't, then, you know, we're not a part of your life, basically. I had talked about some of the drinking in front of the kids when they were little. I didn't like it in front of them, and the swearing in front of them. Yeah, and I usually encourage them. Like I said, we visited the SPCA. Thank you for the invitation. I thanked Carrie for coming over. I usually also cultivated family life. So for example, some of the things I would do is I would have the boys write them like a little note, you know, just to say that they appreciate things. So I had a note here. This was way back in 2005. This is how faithful I've been to them. You know, my sled went fast. And this is a thank you card for when one of my kids was really little. This was like, oh, I'm not even gonna put that on there. But, you know, just things like just being really creative with them. Like this was from Donna, and she wanted to make a book about everyone's favorite colors. So we did that for her. This is just a note of mine, not theirs, but that Mick enjoyed opening his card and gift. They played, you know, they put balloons in their shirt. So I always had like some kind of note or letter of a thank you or building them up. So when we just started to try to live our own life, they didn't like it. And so now they have been really rude to me with my husband, and they are just like, oh good, we got him without her, and this is a big part of the divorce. So now I've got his great aunt contacting me, and on it goes.